Hold on. There we go. Works a lot better if I actually move my microphone in. Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just quickly get some of this out of the way so I can actually see what I'm doing. There we go. So, here we have it. The cucumber. And it's time for it to receive a shield update. As you most likely know, I assume. Some of you will have. Well, it's a little delayed there. Thanks for the subscription, by the way. So, I've been working on my on shields and figuring out like the mechanics behind shields for, well, a good part of a month now, or maybe more. I don't know. And based on that, I've come up with a new build that I want to try for the shields on the cucumber, and we're going to begin the work on it today. But we actually have to make the build first, which is going to be interesting. So let me just quickly show you guys something here, so you know what we're kind of trying to do. And again, if I had been prepared, I would have found this beforehand, but this is one of those could have, should have, didn't. But luckily I know approximately where it is. I think this is it. Yes, okay. So, many of you will of course know that I have this shield software that I've been running, and I've been testing, like, what is the best shield in various situations. Now, if we just quickly jump over here to the main monitor, you can see here's a result, like a log from the test. Let me zoom in so it's easy for you guys to read. Like so. Is that big enough? I think that's big enough. So you can see the test setup here. I'm running 7 shield boosters because that's what I'm running on the cucumber. Oh, good evening everybody in chat. I've also implemented, that's one of the things that you guys requested, that I've implemented Guardian shield boosters and shield cell banks into the mix, so to show how much we have in the pool there and here. Also, we can set up the explosive, kinetic, thermal DPS, absolute damage. You can see I'm running with a little bit of absolute damage. That's one of the other things that you guys mentioned in the comment section of my last shield video. Is that, well, there will be NPCs flying PAs, and those PAs is going to do absolute damage. So I added a small amount of absolute damage. Also, I've been measuring the damage, the actual damage efficiency when I was out in the high intensity conflict zone, and it was around 65%. So I put that in as well. And here's the build. It's quite an interesting build that it's come up with. It's saying prismatic thermal resist force block, and then it goes all resistance augmented with force block, 1 thermal block, which is a little odd. I might want to change that out for a force block just to have all force block as well. But basically what it's saying is, because we're being shot at 65% of the time, we should just try to ignore shield regen completely. So that's why we go in prismatics, to get as many hit points as we can. And once we have as many hit points as we can, we're just going to focus 100% on getting our resistance as high and balanced as possible. You can see our resistance is down here, explosive at 75%, kinetic and thermal, both in the 70% area, which is really, really good. So basically the way you would be playing a build like this is, of course, we're not going to get any regen from our shields itself, but we're going to get all the regen from the massive amount of hit points we have in our shield cell bank pool. And that's the way we're going to recharge the shield in combat. And you can see we have about, more than twice our shield hit points in shield cell banks, divided out on 12 banks, right? So we can fill up our shield quite a few times. Actually, we have 3 times. Yeah, we actually have more than 3 times our shield hit points in shield cell banks. So quite a bit of shield. But here's the first problem. Do I have one open here? Hold on. I do. We need the cucumber build. Hold on. What's the site even like? Elite guides.info. There we go. see, so here we have the current build. And you can see here we are already pretty damn tight on power. We have to shut off some modules just to be able to actually run this. And now we have to try and refit this for prismatics. And I also want to try to see if I can get rid of the efficient here and go long range instead, because they do quite a bit more damage. Did I actually prepare that? No, but I have a, hold on. I'll show you why. So the trick is when we'll be mainly doing our regen using our shield cell banks here, we're going to be generating a lot of heat. And as you can see, I'm not fitting any heat sinks. That means all our heat dissipation is going to come from our beam lasers with thermal vent on them. So if I could just quickly here... here... Yes, this one. So this is a graph that shows the damage output of lasers. So if 100% is the unengineered damage output based on range. So you can see the orange one here is efficient, and you can see out to around 600 meters it does full damage, and then it begins to drop off until it does nothing out at 3 kilometers, which is its maximum range. And that means that if you go out beyond 1 kilometer, you are actually better off using long range, which can do its full damage all the way out to 6 kilometers. Now, we are going to be flying gimbaled, and there is a little bit of natural like jitter in all gimbaled weapons, meaning that you'll probably have a hard time hitting anything out there. But if the target is big and slow and you have something huge to shoot at, like a Type 9 or a Conda or something like that, you might be able to do your full damage all the way out at 6 kilometers. And since, as far as I can understand, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think the damage dissipation, so the heat dissipation from lasers is based on the damage output of the weapon itself. So that's why I want to try to get long range in. But of course, long range use more power than efficient. So it's quite a steep challenge here to try and to change a prismatic, a bioweave out for prismatics, and also get long range in here. But I'll see what I can do, and hopefully it's doable. But I guess we're just gonna get started and see if we can. Let's start by just fitting everything, and we're gonna go completely overpowered. I thought it was the inverted heat numbers. It might be the inverted heat numbers, but that would also make sense then, because you can see here we get a minus 60% to thermal dissipation. It might be that it's the thermal load that's gonna get vented of the weapon instead. But again, if that's the case, then again, efficient is reducing our heat dissipation. We actually want something that gives us worse heat. So going with something like, where do we have like overcharge, probably will give more thermal, but that also takes up a lot more distributor draw when we fire the weapons, and we don't get that range benefit. So that's why I really like the long range one, which does increase our power draw. Anyway, let's see here. We're gonna go thermal, and what was it? Thermal force block on this one. And over here, we're just gonna get rid of all of these. We're gonna go resistance augmented force block. And we're just gonna copy that down like that. And then I have calculated with removing one of those. Look at those resistances. That's some pretty decent hit points. I mean, the effective hit points is pretty good. And look at that, one shield cell bank here. It's over 600 megajoules. So that's like 20-ish%, 22% or something like that of the total hit points we gain from firing one shield cell bank. That's pretty neat. I'll put something else in that slot later, but let's just see how bad it is. 111%. Let's move everything back into category 1, see if we can make this thing fly. Yeah, the hit points are really good. I mean, almost 10,000 across the board on effective hit points. Of course, absolute is, well, it's what it is, but we'll just have to try and avoid the PAs and the people shooting PAs. So now we just have to try to like strip this down for power. And I noticed here that our kill wound scanner, the 0A, is consuming a ton of power. And I'm not really using the kill wound scanner that often. So I'm gonna consider going this down to as low as we can. Let's just start by going derated fast scan. Yes, derated fast scan. 105 already. That's already a lot better. Yeah, we can. That's a good Daniel's a good option there to go. Right now I have thermal spread here, but because we want to try and dissipate all that heat from all those shield cell banks, I really want to try to see if we can keep thermal spread. Drop the rate of the boosters. That will save you a ton of power. You'll get the same resistance from E-class. That's maybe also an option to drop some of them down from A-rated. I'm going to see if we can't fit it in here. For now, we already saved a ton of power. Let's see, we can go back and go Frameswift Drive, Guardian, Frameswift Drive Booster. We can turn that off. And we're actually flying now. Look at that. What was the other one we had turned off before? Ah, yeah, of course. The fuel scoop, we can turn that into group 2 as well. And now we're actually flying with room to spare. Did we put... Oh, hold on, these are still efficient. Aha, hold on, give me a second. I was like, that was way too easy. So that's going to be long range thermal vent. And this one is also going to be long range and thermal vent. And put that on there. Yes, see, now we're probably back in problem territory. Yes, we are. Okay. Kill wound scanner is D. Can we save? How much power can we save by going down to an E-rated? 0.2. 0.2 power draw. How much are we currently producing? We are currently producing 51. Oh, so we're using 51. We're using 102, so we need to save 2.4%. And what is the output of the power plant? It's 50.4. So we need to save like 1.1 somewhere. Again, sensors also up here using a lot of power. So maybe we can downgrade the sensors and then go probably lightweight or long range. Oh, look at that. I think we actually managed to get long range grade 5 on all of them, didn't we? Yeah, long range 5 and D-rated sensors. That's not sensors. D-rate the sensors. We still have 5.7 kilometer range. It's not amazing. What would it do to our jump range if we went long range? It's going to increase the mass and the scan angle is going to be reduced. We currently have a maximum jump range of, let's say the unladen here, 28.3. If we go this to long range, they're going to be heavy. Was it 28.3? We lose 1 light year of jump range. But we gain 5 kilometer of scan range. I might actually be in favor of that. I mean, I know that long range on the sensors is a little... Grade 5 is unnecessary. Go with grade 3. Are you sure? Ah, on the sensors. Ah, sorry. I thought you meant on the lasers. Like, why would you only go grade 3 there? That makes no sense. We want all the range we can. So this is where you want to just go grade 3. Hold on. Let's try something here. We can actually see that from the other build here. Let's get that up again. So before we had a 32 tons and 7.6. If we go long range grade 3, we are a little bit longer range. Actually, grade 2 is close to the same. We're quite a bit heavy. But again, the power draw is necessary. I mean, often you're better off going A-rated and then lightweighting than you're going D-rated long range, right? So this would often be more efficient. But again, then we're gonna run into some power issues. Is there anywhere else we can save a little bit of power? Maybe? 20... Hold on. 28 on this configuration. And if we go D-rated... Long range 5. Okay, we actually only go down 0.8 of a light year. Yes, the D-rated is the lightest module, but as you can see here, because we're running a lightweight mod on this one, we're reducing the mass by 80%. So we're getting an 80% reduction in the mass on the sensor. So even though the D-rated is lighter, now we're putting long range on it, which is increasing the mass by 100%. So we're doubling the mass of the light module, making it heavier than the big module reduced by 80. So yeah. But again, it's longer range. Yeah, I guess. Anyway, we need to actually, we have like 0.5% power left, which is a total of like 0.24, and we need to fit something in this slot here. I've been considering fitting an AFMU. That's an option. Not a 3A. That's probably a little bit too much. Alternatively, we already have... Hold on. What if we take that and move this? Like move that down there, then we can carry 8 limpets. It's not a lot, but it's okay. Module reinforcement for the overheating. Yeah. Yeah, that's an option, actually. Is there any way we gotta fit a Guardian? Hold on. Is there any way we're gonna be able to fit a Guardian module reinforcement pack in here? How much power do these use? Oh, we can. Wait, do these not use power? $50.16. Is it not calculating the power of the Guardian reinforcement pack? It's not. Look at that. Like, our total power consumption right now is 54.0. And if we fit a Guardian module reinforcement pack that uses 0.7 megawatts of power. Oh, now it's does that go into the category 2 somehow? Oh, it's in category 2, that's why. Put that back in 1. I don't know why that's in 2. We need to have that online. Yeah, that's not gonna fly, is it? Should we just have to go normal module reinforcement, I guess? Because I don't think we can squeeze much more power out of this build right now. Then we'd have to go monstrate on here to get that little bit extra power, but I really don't want to do that if I can avoid it. Then I would much rather just go with straight up normal, normal module reinforcements. Oh yeah, that's actually, we can actually cycle those. If we put one of these in, so we cycle the shield cell banks, that's what you're saying, then we should have all the power in the world. It's a good point. But now we have all, ooh, hold on. Does that mean that if we change, hold on a second. If we go Guardian, where is it? There's a Guardian. Oh, now we have the Guardian shield reinforcement, the module reinforcement here. But does that mean we can pop this one back up to an A-rated sensors with lightweight on it and keep those sensors they were before? It does, and we can in here. Can we even? Is this stretching it a bit? Yes, that is stretching it a bit. But we can downgrade this to B maybe. Yes, B will fly. And then fast scan. 98.3%. If we cycle the shield cell banks, because we're only gonna need one at a time. And we got our long range here, long range thermal vents. Got the sensors, got the power distributor, got the sensors back where they were. You know what? I actually like this. And we still have a fuel scoop in here. We have a fighter hangar. This is pretty neat, I think. Oh, hold on. If we have that spare power, because we don't need that big of a fuel scoop, to be honest. It's not, I mean, it's not that much of a travel build. What's our scoop times right now? Here. I'm sure there was a place where they put the, like, how much time it takes on this booster itself. I have refuel time, 36 seconds. That's to refuel a full tank. That's not really needed. What if we took, now I'm just thinking out loud here, because we have that little bit of headroom we can play around with, and also we can downgrade the sensors we did before. What if we took... No, I don't want another shield cell bank. I mean, we have 12 charges, that should be enough. I mean, we can fill our shield 3 times over. I think we have enough shield cell banks here to keep us flying. And remember, I'm pretty sure we can synthesize these, right? Maybe not. Oh, I thought you could, actually. but you could have more. That is true. But, okay, look at this. If I downgrade this, if I take this module reinforcement and I make this into a fuel scoop. Oh, not fuel tank. Fuel scoop, there we go. Yes, it's slower and it takes longer, but again, this is not a travel build. We still have a total range, unladen, without drones, of... It doesn't matter, we don't have a... Where is our cargo? Did we have a cargo? That's the cargo. Yeah, we have like a total range of 100 light years, basically. So that should be plenty to get us where we need to go. And then we could take this and make this into a Guardian module. Oh, they only come in class in odd numbers. Is that the same with the shield reinforcement? Yes, they also only come in... Is there anything of these that we can upgrade then? No, there's not. It's all... AFMU, yeah, so that's my what I'm thinking here. And like an AFMU could be an option, and we could definitely fit that. That would work. And the reason why I like the AFMU is if we use a module reinforcement pack, it protects our internal modules. But if someone shoots us with, let's say, phasing sequence, which the NPCs will do, we can potentially get that our weapons are going to overheat and going to take damage. And that's why I don't like Monstret, because of the heat. Because I want a more heat-efficient power plant. If we use an AFMU here, we can also repair our surface modules as well as our internal modules, and they can be resynthesized. And if I recall correctly, synthesizing these are almost free. We don't have an AFMU and fit it, that's why I can't find it. Okay, there is a little bit of grade 2 materials, but AFMU class B is better. Hold on, repair ammo. Oh yeah, it has more capacity. So you probably want to fit that. Does this one engineer? No, only shielded. I think I like this one. I like this one a lot, actually. The AFMU is a really nice thing to have, especially such a big one. And we still have the cargo, so we can fire off a few limpets if we need it. We still have... Oh, this is a normal module reinforcement pack right now. Hold on, did I do something wrong here? That should not be, that should be a shield reinforcement pack. And... Oh! Oh, this is... We are at 50.41 and we can produce 50.4. We need to find 0.01 megajoules somewhere. Kill one scanner. Yeah, that's... Oh yeah, that's B. Oh yeah, thank you. Just gonna drop that down to a C-rated fast scan. Then we're good. Then we should be good to go, right? Yeah, that's it. What if we dropped... You see, I mean, I have noticed that I sometimes don't... I mean, it's not always that I use the kill wound scanner, especially now that I'm mostly using this in conflict zones. And it's a good point. No, I don't want to turn off the cargo hatch. I know that could give us like a tiny amount. But because we have collectors on board, I want to be able to fire off a limpet mid-combat if I want to collect something without having to stow my weapons. How much is the kill wound scanner actually using now? Oh, it's using a lot. Oh, no, it's not. It's sorted by power consumption. There we go. Fuel scoop is in the wrong power group. What? The AFMU is in that group now. What is going on? Is that because it's tied? Oh, it's tied to the slot. Hold on. Fuel scoop. Yeah, okay. That's why. Because the AFMU was been put in that group. But we do need the AFMU. So now we are in, like, back in serious problems again here. Now we have quite a bit that we need to drop here. Dropping this to a D-rated probably won't do it. I just think that that big AFMU is just too power hungry for us to be able to squeeze that in. Just go back to the other... with having a fuel scoop there. You're right, Derek. I don't need the kill wound scanner, but... could we drop that for something else? Like more shield, maybe? But that's just gonna consume even more power. Oh, look at those stuff. Oh, though, that's just really close, though. Hold on. Hold on. Guardian. Turn that off and just... okay, so these are the two slots we're kind of playing around with at the moment. Just going to go back to this one. That uses less power. See, now that gives us... around 2.1. Yeah, 2.1 megawatts of power. 2.1 megawatts. And what do we need? We need a fuel scoop and we need an AFMU. But I'm pretty sure that AFMU is going to consume more than that. Yes. But what about a class 4 AFMU? Repair amount is lower and it's slower. But still. Turn off the AFMU until we need it. So what you're suggesting is that we go... I always mix that up. Like a smaller fuel scoop. Yeah, I'm more leaning towards Fire Faction's suggestion here as well. I like to have the small AFMU here because I can synthesize and I can use this in combat. Meaning if I have, let's say, a weapon down, I'm just going to power that weapon off, send it off to repair, and then continue fighting. And then once the weapon is repaired, I can boot it back up. That means that, yes, I will have a weapon down for a short period of time, but I can continue fighting. I don't have to stop up. And remember, if we're doing this in a conflict zone, we might potentially have people shooting at us at the same time. So not only are we sitting trying to repair our ship, but we're also trying to overheat at the same time. Well, not overheat, but we've got to be overheating because all our weapons are stored and we can't use our shield cell bank. This puts us in a very vulnerable position because shield cell bank is out of action because we can't use our beam lasers because they're stored. So when we're repairing, we are really vulnerable. But if we use the grade 4, yes, it will be slower, but we can use it while we're still fighting, while we're still cooling, and while we're still firing off our shield cell banks. So it's a lot safer to go this route, I think. And then put in a fuel scoop there. And this will actually fly with some headroom. No hull reinforcement. No, I think we're okay on hull reinforcement. I have specialized with bus shell. For less thermal load. You know what? I think I'm gonna try this version here. Yeah, but though the shield cell banks here are currently set at grade 3, which is because I don't fancy flying all the way out to Colonia. We go and look here. Engineering, blueprints. There would be optional internals, shield cell banks, shield cell bank specialized. Yeah. You can see here, if we want to get grade 4, we have to get to Mel Brandon, and he is 21, almost 22,000 light years. He's out in Colonia. I don't fancy flying out to him just to engineer my shield cell banks, even though it would reduce the thermal load on them. But it would also increase the power draws. We'll have to, yeah. So that's why I'm going with grade 3 on these. I think I'll try this one. Let's, if any of you guys are interested, I'm just going to post a shorthand link to it here, so you guys can see it. And then I think we should get in game and begin some engineering here. There should be plenty of theory crafting for now. Okay, let's get that thing over there. And, hold on. Try that again. There we go. Come on. There we go. Okay. Actually, you know what? This doesn't really work for me. There we go. Ah, messing up all the windows. There we go. I think the first thing I want to do is just... that ship should have arrived by now. I should have my Ramdilans here. Yes. We're just gonna quickly disassemble this ship. It has like a lot of like weird assortments of modules, and we might be able to reuse some of them. So we're just gonna refit or disassemble this one, sell it, and then we're gonna go begin refitting the cube comber and see how that goes. Transfer option, store. That's gone clipping into the floor. Yeah, I have exactly the same worries Josh said. Sounds cool, but will it work in game? That's why we're trying to build it. I'm not sure we're going to be able to build all of it today, though. But gonna try to build it and see if it will fly. Oh, that was utilities. And we got core internals and optional internals. I have a shield generator. And that's about it. Okay. Thanks a lot for the subscription on YouTube. Yeah, I should use the bulk storage a lot more than I do. Derek says, I can't see any aliased edges. Do you use super sampling? No, I don't. But I use... where is it? The trick, one of the tricks is, of course, to also run the game at the same refresh rate. The same refresh rate as you're capturing, and that's one of the primary ways to do it. And yes, I guess there's a bit of super sampling because you can see the game is running at 1440p, but I'm capturing this at 1080p, so it is actually being super sampled a little bit. But then I think I have some anti-aliasing on as well. Okay. Hard points. These needs to go. And let's see if I have any beam lasers with long range thermal vent on. Efficient thermal vent. Efficient. I have a long-range regeneration sequence, but that's about it. Don't have any medium-sized beams at all? Not a single one? Oh, there we go. But they're both efficient regen sequence. Okay. So I think I'll just be putting all these into storage. Do you ever use thermal conduit? No, not really. Now I should be using the bulk storage option here, because this is going to take forever watching all those go away. Go for all fixed, what could possibly go wrong? We have to remember that this build is also meant to be able to be flown by people who are less... Weapon color green? Yeah. I have green weapons on it. And that's our shield going down since we're going over power now. Okay. That was the weapons. We're gonna be playing around with this. Let's put this one into storage as well. That took some time. Heavy duty. Gonna store that. Heavy duty. Store that. Kinetic resistance. Yeah, I'm gonna store it in case I want to revert back to the old build, in case this doesn't work. Oops. Okay, so I have a lot of these resistance augmented already. That is supercapacitor, but I'm gonna keep those and then just switch the supercapacitor out for force block. Because that's fairly cheap. It doesn't cost as many materials. Alan says, good evening all, just pre-ordered the Constellation Alpha, can't wait to get it. I have just done the same just before the stream started. Okay, let's see if we have anything with resistance augmented. We have resistance augmented there. I'm gonna transfer that over. Any more? Heavy duty, thermal resistance, heavy duty, thermal resistance. I have a lot of the thermal resistant. I don't think I need that many. And a ton of heavy duties. Oh well. So that's more engineering for us. Okay, for core internals, I think the only change we made in here was the power plant, right? Not the power plant, the sensors, which we're gonna go derated and then long range. I'm not sure if I have derated. I do not have long range sensors lying around. I don't believe so. No, I have another set of lightweight, so send that to storage. And buy a new set of derated. Yeah, I decided to have 8 shield boosters. Just because resistance are nice. For the optionals, we kept those. And we kept the large fuel scoop, right? Yes, we kept the large fuel scoop. We kept all those shields. Those shields we kept. This one we did not keep. And this one we did not keep either. The class 3 slot got swapped out for a cargo rack. For that collector limpet there. And this one got swapped out for a AFMU. There we go. That should be it. Hello, Levik. It's going okay. Let's just make a quick overview here of... I need to make a list of what I need to engineer on this ship, because I can't remember. So I have 3 beam lasers that all need long range, and they need thermal vent. That needs to be done. You should use a corrosive resistant cargo rack. I don't believe corrosive resistance come in class 3. If I recall correctly, let's check it. So cargo racks. Yeah, you can see here corrosive come in size 1 and 4. And I believe 2 as well, yeah. I don't know why it's listed as 1 twice, but... Okay, so we need the beam lasers. All of these right now, I believe, are supercapacitor. So that means we have shield boosters. Oh, this was 3 times that. We have 3 shield boosters that need resistance augmented, and we have 8 of them that needs force block. Yeah, I sold the 4, but it's a class 3 slot. We dropped it down from a 4 to a 3 to get access to a bigger AFMU. So instead of spending a class 4 slot on cargo, we dropped it down to a 3, and it doesn't really matter for the corrosion. We're not going to fight Thargoids with this anyway. So that's the shield reinforcement, or shield boosters. For the core internals, we just need the D-rate, not need sensors. Oh, I forgot to change something. Hold on. We just quickly check this. The cargo, no, can't be engineered. This can't be engineered. This should not be engineered. Can't be engineered, can't be engineered, can't be engineered. Is that... But we're just gonna put this into storage. This is the main change we're making. Swapping out the shields. I have a reinforced high cap, which is not what we want. And then I have one unengineered. So we're gonna take the unengineered. So I need shield with thermal block and force block on it. Yeah, I know that the AFMU is priority 2. That's, well, not really priority 2, it's just offlined. Right, so we just need to set up our groups here. So that is group 2. Frameshift drive is group 2. Where's my fuel scoop at? Oh, it's here? Yeah, so they all group 2. That should be okay. And what we then have to do is just to take one shield cell bank, turn that off, and the AFMU. No, we can run with that now. I think it's just on the site here. Oh, hold on. Are we still powering? Oh, you're right. Hold on. Oh, please tell me we are actually running here this. We didn't mess it up. Frameshift drive. Guardian thingy-majig. Where is the fuel scoop? There it is. Damn it. God damn. I thought we had a good build. Good evening, guys. Do we drop that extra shield booster? I mean, we pretty much pulled everything out of it, other than going monstrous on the power plant. Yeah, smaller cargo. How much do we lose? Then we are flying. Okay, we have to do that then. Get back with the corrosive resistant and then get a AFMU in a class 3 slot. That's what we're gonna do then. Oh, hold on, I should actually go in and just remove the link. There we go. Oh, hold on. That's another good option here Rookie comes with. Hold on, let's just quickly try that. What happens if this one is still a 4 AFMU and this one is a class 3 cargo rack and the fuel scoop drops down to a B? No. Fuel scoop drops down to a C. No, but it doesn't matter with the fuel scoop because the fuel scoop is already in group 2. And group 2 has plenty of power. That's not an issue. Yeah, but the scoop and so everything related to jumping, like fuel scooping, frameshift drive boosters, and frameshift drive is already. Oh, hold on, it's a A. We need to go B on the AFMU for. Yes, there we go. That was it. But we go B on the AFMU, which is what we wanted because it has more ammo with us. That is what we want. So that one should be a B-rated one. Right? Gotta bookmark this then. Oh, not that one. That one. There we go. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, things are coming back online. Yeah, we're working the shields and that's caused a whole lot of other problems. Okay, I'm just very quickly here going to get Elite Dangerous Market Connector up and running and do a quick sync with Inaura. There we go. We're now synced with Inaura. So now we can jump over here and we can begin to look at the blueprints. Let me get you guys with me here. Okay, so let's keep that open. This is the build, right? This is the old one. This is the new one. That's tight on power. Okay. Let's take it from the top with weapons. We need beam lasers with long range. For utility mounts, we need shield boosters with resistance augmented. For core internals, we needed sensors with long range. And for optional internals, we needed shield generators with thermal resistance. Okay. So first of all, let's check here. Beam lasers long range, do we have enough? No. We need cracked industrial firmware. Let's just make a new one here. So we need cracked industrial firmware. It needs 1 per roll. So we're going to need a total of 30 of them. Plus plus. The rest looks pretty good. Let's just check like the grade 5 ones here. Thermic alloy and biotech conductors. We need conductive ceramics also. Oh, yeah, hold on. We should check with the thermal vent down here. We have plenty of that. For the shield, we need resistance augmented. So there we need conductive ceramics. I'm going to need 30 plus plus of that. Let's save this now. On here we need force block. Is it force block? Yes, force block. So plenty of that as well. Sensors. We should be good on sensors. And then finally, for the shields, where we need thermal resistant, Yes. Thermal resistant and more force block. Yes, that's also good. Derek, yes, you can. You can, if you pledge to an Empire faction, you can freely fly. It will say that you are hostile, but it's not like the police is gonna come after you and shoot you dead. So you could take it easy. I'm just gonna get some more to drink. Okay, it looked like we can actually get away with just the two. And if we just take a quick look here. If I recall correctly, cracked industrial firmware where is it? Cracked industrial firmware is encoded firmware grade 3. What is the grade 4 variant of that? That is security firmware patches. So how are we doing on security firmware patches in game? Plenty. So that means this one we're going to down trade. Conductive ceramics. If I can just remember the conductive ceramics, that the conductive ceramics is conductive, so that is conductive polymers, which is the one grade higher. Yeah, we can use the Crash Cobra, but if I have plenty of the others, it's a lot quicker than having to fly all the way out there. What was it? What was the name of it again? Conductive polymers. Okay, we have not enough that I want to downgrade. So I think we're gonna go and pay Dav's Hope a visit. I just run some loops at Dav's Hope, try to get some conductive ceramics, and hopefully also fill up on conductive ceramics and conductive components. You can see we're low on all of them. And then maybe we're gonna visit the Cobra while we're out flying anyway. If we didn't have to go far, I would just... Yeah, or just hunt a few down high grades and down trade. Hold on, can we just trade down biotech? How many biotechs do I have? I have 50 biotech conductors, but it's... Oh, I hate downgrading grade 5 materials. Though it would be a 1:9 ratio, right? So if I downgraded, let's say, 5 of them, I would get like 40. Is that worth it? Like 40 something, right? 40... 45? Yeah, 45. That's probably worth it, to be honest, just to get a few biotech conductors. I can't remember how difficult they are. Where is biotech conductors at the moment? What state are those in? It's just I'm a little reluctant to trade down grade 5. That's why I would much rather... Yeah, we get them. Oh, right, we get them from missions. We could just go and run passenger missions from Rubigo. to get biotech conductors. Oh yeah, those are the ones that are only given for missions. Yeah, okay. Then they're fairly easy to get them. So we're just going to run passenger missions in Robigo, and we're going to get all the biotech conductors we need. Okay, in that case, what we will be doing... Did I swap over to my Conda? I did. We're just gonna find the nearest material trader. And we need to hit for a encoded one. That should be our first destination. And then we'll go for the manufactured one afterwards. Commander Fleming says eliteguides.info looks interesting. Thank you. It's a site that that I'm currently building. I guess I can showcase it while we are flying here anyway. Oh, did we get free of the mass lock? We did. Come on. It's a site I'm building. As you can see, there's still a lot of stuff in here that's placeholder, like there's no styling of the news feeds here yet, and a lot of the guides are either just lorem ipsum at the moment, so not existent. I have begun writing up the guide for the shield mechanics, as you can see here. So that is coming along slowly. And I've put in a lot of my own builds here, but I'm planning to expand. The material finder is in here now. And there's even a quite interesting little thing I want to show you guys. Hold on. Hold on, I need to figure out what station we're going to here in the system. That one, okay. Should be like there. No? Living right now, since it's still under development, it is locked behind a password, but as soon as it's done, I will of course open it up for the general public. It's just the trick is right now that I'm embedding a lot of other stuff that hold on, let me just do something real quick here. Just gonna quickly add a new site up with a new page I've been working on. That I made just yesterday. It hasn't been published on even the password locked site yet, but I'm just quickly gonna drag it in so we can see it. Give me a second here. So I'm just logging in. I can manage it. If you guys are interested in writing guides, I mean, just if we go, the guides that I have listed here are just examples. If you have other ideas for a guide you want to write, you're more than welcome to do so. The rank writing, I haven't put it in yet, as you can see. It's still emptied here, but I know it's pending to be added. But I'm just quickly gonna add another site there. So if I refresh this now, boom, new page. It's called Shield Tester. This is one of the guys, so I'm just keep an eye on this. This is one of the guys who've been helping doing a port of the shield tester that I've been using for this exact purpose. And you can see now, oh, it's actually received an overhaul since I looked at it yesterday. It changes color now. Basically, you can go in, you can put in, say, okay, how much DPS do we want of the different types? Let's say 50 there. See, that's why I would wish this would be like fill-in boxes and not sliders. And in the absolute, this one doesn't have the Guardian and the shield cell banks yet. But then we can calculate, and it comes up with a build that's a little different than what we have here. But that's because it doesn't compensate for the shield cell banks and the Guardian boosters. That's not in this version yet. But the plan is that this will be, hopefully, it will be something we can implement on the site. So we can sit in here and do this kind of testing on the page. It looks really, really awesome, and it's well made, and it's so well optimized. It runs so quickly. Yeah. Dongle says, what are you using? Can we, at the end, make a pull request on GitHub to contribute to the homepage is written in Squarespace. not a sponsor. I know Squarespace is sponsoring every single YouTuber out there. But no, I'm just making it on Squarespace. It's fairly straightforward and allows me to develop this a lot quicker than I would if I was handwriting everything myself. Thanks a lot for the follows on Twitch.
Okay, Commander, land on pad 39er.
There we go. 39er. Oh, what's going on over on Twitch? A lot of people over there right now. And overshooting the landing pad as usual. We're just gonna do a little boop with the nose. Nice try, Carl. Nice try with a password. It's not Carlos.
Landing completed. Power down systems.
I could port a copy of the Fox step-by-step guide to unlocking engineers quickly. It's really dangerous info. You're more than welcome to. We just need to make sure that we have permissions from the original producers of the guides. That's why I'm locking it right now, because there are still some unclarified stuff on there that I haven't had final approval on by people that, yes, this is the version that's going to go up. And I don't want to just take other people's guides that they've been writing, let's say, and put it on Reddit or whatever they've done with it, and just copy-paste it over. That's not cool. So if I'm gonna do something like that, I'm gonna get first their permission, or alternatively, as I have done with other sites, I'm just gonna embed it on the site, meaning it's not actually a copy, but it's just a window in a window. So it still shows their site, it still goes to their site, and I'll put all credit to them. It's just like a link to their site, but instead of being a clickable link, it's just like a window inside the window. That's how this is working. This is just you can see that border there, which I haven't removed. That is just a link to another homepage, basically. So yeah. Again, I am planning to put a lot of guides on there, not just my own. At the moment, it's mostly my own stuff because it's still in this very early stage of developing. But I am planning to get other people's stuff on here. They just have to get in touch with me because I'm already trying to get... right now, I'm trying to fill out the community tabs. We're still talking about the site. Let's put that up here. The community tabs with the... There are some communities already in here yet. But there are obviously still some missing. I haven't filled in I've talked to the Anti-Casino Initiative. I haven't filled those in yet. And if we go for something like exploration, you can see I wrote here, I want to talk to FleetCom, I want to talk to Canon, see if I can get those guys in on this as well. So there are still a lot of unfinished stuff in here, and it's going to be filled out, but there's a lot of people to talk with. So if you guys know someone, they should poke them and say this will get in touch with me if they want their stuff on here, and they feel like they have a good guide that needs to belong on a page like this. Okay, we are going to go to contacts, and we're gonna go and we're going to what are we doing? We're going to go to the material trader, and we were looking for, what were we looking for again? We were looking for conductive ceramics. This is an encoded one. So we were looking for cracked industrial firmware. There we go. Cracked industrial firmware. And we're gonna trade in security firmware patches. And let's just trade in the 12. Is that enough? You know what, let's trade in another 10. 22, so we have a little bit extra. So that was that one, and then we just need to find, I'm just quickly gonna do this here in the background. Need to find a manufactured one that is not like 1,000 light years from the main station. So we'll just take this one, I guess. Jonas is squeezing from a fellow Dane.
Regulate speed until clear of exclusion zone.
Surprised that people still play this game so much. I'm enjoying it. Still find stuff to do. Even though I must admit that after I bought Satisfactory last week, my playtime in Elite has gone down drastically. Okay, and at a station. Oops. There we go. Okay, so this would be a good time to remind you guys to go down and hit the like button if you haven't already. Especially here on live streams, it really helps a lot if you guys will go down. If you enjoy the stream, wow, can't even talk anymore. Then go down and hit the like button if you haven't subscribed already. I mean, tomorrow I have a video coming out on this specific findings I did and the latest iteration of the shield build, or the shield software. So if you're interested in that, you should definitely go down and subscribe over on YouTube, because that video will be published tomorrow. And if you are into the more nerdy side of that, as if creating specific softwares to solve problems in computer games is nerdy enough, I am gonna do a deep dive into the software, where I talk about the way it's built and what it does and that kind of thing. And of course the software is open source. You can download it off GitHub if you want to. And there's even people who've been porting it to both Python and Go, I think. And those versions are obviously a lot quicker. The Python version, it's not Python, the PowerShell version that I'm using is quite slow, but it has the benefit of just running natively of all Windows 10 machines without any additional installation. You just like download it and run it, and it's good to go. Ugh. So we should actually begin to plan. That'll be our next step, I think.
DeLacy, Delta to Echo. Welcome to this federal facility. Please observe all standard docking procedures.
As soon as we... What time is it? How long have we been streaming? Ah, I have time. I know we spent the most of this stream inside stations, but to be honest, that's not too inaccurate for my average play session.
Access approved. Land on pad 39.
Scan detected.
Regulate your speed and maintain current vector.
Oops. Hold on, if my chat frozen here? I think it has, because I can see you guys still writing on the stream. Yeah, it's frozen. Wonderful. Hold on. We just get this on the landing pad and then we catch up on chat. I was like, why did all you guys go so quiet? So the last thing I saw was...
Landing completed. Power down systems.
Was... Rookie saying, can't have enough. Okay, I'll just read from here. Can a corvette fit through the mail slot sideways? I think it can, yeah. And if the Beluga does, then the Corvette definitely does. Satisfactory isn't full out yet, is it? No. Satisfactory is still in early access, I think. I placed some Factorio. This Satisfactory is built upon. And it's addicting. Oh yeah, it's addicting. Let me just quickly catch up. What is the effective shield hit points you, on average, you expect out of a new build? That's a really difficult question to answer, because it depends on the build. If it's for combat, I like at least the bigger ships. If I'm fitting anything for like one of the bigger ships for combat, I wanted to have like, I would say at least 2,000 raw hit points. I think it's the bare minimum. 2,500 is nice, but I wouldn't go much lower than that. I think it can work, but yeah. If you search for guides for engineers, unlock a good blueprint pinned in. Ah, okay, cool. I don't know why my chat froze. That's annoying. Outfitting, no, not shipyard. What am I doing? We're gonna go to contacts, and we're gonna go to material trader. And here we need a cracked industrial firmware. No, here we need to conduct. My God. So we trade in like 5. That should be good. Okay. Next step is to make a plan for where we're going. So let me just get you guys with me over here. Okay. So we need to go and get our beam lasers done. Meaning, hold on. Give me a second here. I just need to get this up and Running. I should pull this over here so you guys can follow along here. We need the multi-route stop planner. Boom. Good. Okay, so we need to go to Shinrata Desra. And since we're going to be flying in the cube combat, that's going to be your start and end destination. We need to go to Brotron Quinn. We have to do it because long range lasers is the only one that does them. So we have to go and find Brotron Quinn there at him. Okay. Then for the shield boosters, we have to do those as well. So we cannot avoid going to Diddy. Where's Diddy? Did I miss him? There he is. Add him. Then we have to go and look at sensors. We have multiple options here. So we're gonna wait until we looked at this one. Here we go. Shield generator, Li Chong. And Li Chong also does sensors. Perfect. So for the shield generator, we have to go and visit Li Chong. And he will also do our sensors. Boom. And then we're gonna optimize. There we go. That is our flight plan for today. So let's get this thing back in the air. Let's get back to Shinrata. Let's get our cube combo flying in this new version and begin getting this thing engineered.
Ship release.
Sideway through the mail slot. This is gonna end badly, isn't it?
Gear retracted.
Oh, they're gonna shoot me.
Alert. You have entered the station without authorization.
That went well. Okay, I have a better plan when we get to Shinrata to make this a little easier, I think. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna do it in third person camera next time.
Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scooping complete.
Did I miss the station? I think I missed it. Oh, there it is. James Memorial. That didn't lock. There we go. Locked in. We haven't finished that. We're just done swapping materials around. Now we're ready to go out. We're actually gonna try something here. Super Cruise assessed cruise mode. Hyperspace dethrottle, Super Cruise auto throttle, manual throttle. And then we're gonna go turn Super Cruise assist on. And at 6 seconds we're gonna dethrottle. And we're gonna glide down on 5 and see if this still works. No, it's actually slowing us down now. We're gonna throttle up again. Down on 4. Is that a better glide slope? Oh, that's running away from us, isn't it? Maybe it's actually okay. Yeah, it worked. Okay. We have to go down on 4 then.
Delacey Delta to Echo. We are happy to have you, Commander. Please note that all station services are at your disposal.
Okay, I'm gonna try something here, now that we're doing funny docking maneuvers, that I have never actually managed to accomplish in an Anaconda. And the chances that I'm going to make it today is slim. But gotta give it a go anyway. Okay, so line ourselves up here with the docking hatch. And I'm looking for that tower in the back of the docking hall, or the docking bay. There's like a tower with a red flashing light on it. Oh, there it is. You guys see it? It's probably a little difficult to see on the stream. Basically what I'm trying to do is to get that tower lined up with the middle of the docking hatch. Like there. And now I need a little bit of a helping hand here. Graphics. Mouse cursor. No, hold on. Is that under controls? I want to be able to see the mouse. Where is it? Flight rotation. Anyone remember where that is? Under controls and mouse. Mouse controls. Yes. Show mouse widget on. There it is. Oh, did I? Hold on, did I save that? Hold on. Apply. Yes. There it is. Okay, this makes this a lot easier. So we're gonna align ourselves up, like so. Point ourselves straight at the docking hatch. We're gonna remember to request docking.
Access authorized. Please head directly.
Okay, here we go. We have to wait a little bit, because if this thing is... We need to come in at the right angle. If this was vertical when we try to do this, we're not gonna make it. Because the Anaconda won't fit through in that angle. Okay, I think this is good. 3, 2, 1, boost. FA off.
Heavy traffic ahead, Commander. Fly safely.
Rotate, rotate, rotate. And look for the trail. Nope. I hit something.
Assist on.
This is flight control. Reduce speed to 100.
I'm not sure what we hit, but it sounded like the railing around it. Okay, let's do the... Let's put that there. And then put rotation correction off. Oh, this is weird. I have no idea what I'm doing. That one is forward now. I need to go down. And this one should be going towards the... Why is this so much easier from inside the cockpit? Get out of the way. This is easier from inside the cockpit. Where is it? There it is. Oh, all over the place here. No. Get away. Ah! No, this is not working. Okay, let's just dock this manually. That didn't go well.
Attention, you are loitering in the access zone. Move along.
You don't say so. I missed my docking pad. Okay.
Landing gears deployed.
We will see if we can't get the cube combo to go out sideways.
Ship is on the ground, engaging docking restraints. You are most welcome, Commander.
Just gonna quickly check the program here where our next destination is. There's gotta be a lot of jumps in this ship. That's part of the fun, I guess. 8 jumps. Woo, go. Okay. Let's see if the cube combo can fit sideways through the mail slot. Just gonna remove that that mouse cursor.
Disengage from landing pad. Exit the station quickly and safely.
Lot better view from this though. Oh, beautiful. There you have it. Yes, it will fit through sideways. Hello, Recycled. Welcome. I should give you 100 arcs for that.
Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, a mere 8 jumps.
Clear of station perimeter. Have a safe journey.
Yeah, like a glove, exactly.
4, 3, 2.
No, I don't think the nose is as big as on the Anaconda. I think that's right. By the way, hello, Dodgers. I haven't seen you in here.
Fuel scooping.
Look, it's actually managing the heat when fuel scooping quite well. Let's try to do a little more of a deeper dive into the star. Then it does overheat quite quickly. But you can fuel scoop for a decent amount of time before you begin to overheat.
Frameshift drive.
Back in my day, it took us a year to go from... How long was our... It's going okay. We're about to run around and talk to some engineers everywhere, basically. The total route is 500 and something, like 578 light years. Ooh. Well, now that we're here... Oh, damn it. Did I get in too close? I did. I thought it was clear of that. Oh well. This is now that I really wish I had heat sinks. Because this is gonna get really hot now. Come on.
Frameshift drive charging.
Let's see how much heat we manage to generate before we jump. It's nothing. Like, what? 130? 40? Okay, 50. Yeah, okay.
Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, we better get some fuel on this star.
Warning. Temperature critical.
There we go. Well, the important part is we can scoop more fuel than we use in a single jump without too much hassle, so that's fine. Sometimes when I see D3A live, I try to take live in full screen. I try to take control of the shit on my local keyboard. As we before, we try to slide through the mails, but sadly never succeed. I would be scared if you managed to do that. I mean, jumps again, 3 jumps. We should have enough fuel to make it there now, I think.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah, we do. Your ship will be a jalapenos instead of a cucumber with all that heat. So it looks like the new... Yeah, I haven't paid too much attention to the new new generation ship. That's the one that's inhabited, right? As far as I know.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
I haven't been reading up on the on the new generation ship. Has anyone posted on it about it on the forum? Is there like a Galnet article maybe? Oh, hold on. We can maybe listen to the Galnet article. There must be a Galnet article. Evening, Hastas. How's the shield testing coming along? Well, we're still building. We haven't tested anything. Oh, cool. We might have to go and look at that. Hold on. Let's just quickly check Galnet. Just dump this in the atmosphere somewhere. Not power play. What am I even doing? Thargoid activity report. No, there's no Galnet article on it yet. Where is it? I've really not seen a lot about it just yet. We could go and have a look. She played a little, did a video on it. He likes to do videos on mega ships. Done a lot of those. Come on. What are you doing? Ah, he's live streaming it. Okay, got it. Maybe it's on Reddit. Can someone find me a system? Then we'll go and have a look. It's hidden in the fertilizer article. Okay. Okay, we have a system name here. We're just gonna quickly dogger this engineer, then we're just gonna see if we're gonna make a detour here. But if the generation ship is probably not close. You know what? That's not too bad. Hold on. Let's just try here just for fun. So we are now here. That's going to be our starting location. We're going to remove that version of Shinrata Deshra, and we're going to add that as a waypoint. And then we're going to try to optimize this route. It actually says go out there as the next one and then come back. I really wish I had my my travel counter for this though, because it's gonna take us like 16 jumps to get there. How many jumps would this be? Ten jumps? Okay, that's actually not too bad. You know what? We're gonna do that. Just gonna dock up here and get the engineering done. And we might even be able to, to reduce it a bit. And if we... Can we afford a few synthesis, like to... like a few FED injectors? We can afford a few of those. That's gonna, like, make it 5 jumps instead. That should be... That's doable. We're gonna throw the materials at it and Oh, hold on. Still have that one. It's much better. Better. How does the fuel consumption work? What do you mean by fuel consumption? If you, the way your frame to drive works is it's not really limited by range. Well, it is, but it's limited by the amount of fuel it can take into a single jump. So it will always have a maximum amount of fuel, and you can't really change that. Well, some engineering can't do it, I think. But in general, you just have a maximum amount of fuel you can consume per jump. And the longer you jump, the more fuel you of course consume up to your max. But when you use an FSD injector, you just make you drive more efficient, so you can jump longer on the same fuel. So you don't use more fuel. That's basically it. Oh, trying to figure out whether you should go for deep charge or mass manager. If you have a class 5 or higher frame to drive, you should go for mass manager. So if your FSD is grade 5, then go for, or higher, then go for mass manager. Okay, he does beam lasers. Oh yeah, that's right. And we're gonna put long range on them. (7A), then definitely mass manager. And then the final, come on, RNG Jesus, no, yes, one more, okay, one more, god damn it, there we go, now it's done. Experimental effects is thermal vent, and that's one done. Okay, let me see if I can get... oh, we're not even done with the grade 2s. No, Daniel, when you finish, you only have to finish it until you unlock the next tier. You can see this one can give you, is it up to 80% or something? I can't remember. Hold on, where are we at? Yeah, that one. You only have to finish the last circle in order to get the full bonus. No, oh, not pin. We're gonna pin efficient. There we go. And then the last one, and then we're gonna head out to the new ship. Long range. No, not quite there. Did I get the thermal vent on 2? I think I did. I hope I did. Let's check it afterwards, just to be absolutely sure. Okay, let's see. Can we get this? If I get it an 8, it should be okay. 2, that's good. 3, that's okay. Oh, that's a good one. 4. 5. 6. Oh, is this going to be a 7? Yeah, 7. That's really good. Experimental effect. Thermal vent. Let's just quickly check all our lasers. Yeah, I have long-range thermal vent on all of them. Okay, did we plot our route? We did. Then, let's get this thing in the air. Yes, I am aware of the generation ship. We're heading there now to go and have a look.
Departure.
Frameshift drive charging.
Oh, hold on. Actually, we're gonna do this in a slightly different manner here. We're just gonna quickly find the system again. And then we're gonna check it with a... Come on. Why is route plotting unavailable? Okay. Do we really have to do this manually? Because then I'm not so sure if this is faster. Right? Because normal jump range is... Hold on. Is like 28. Only works after using the synthesis. Oh, okay. Come on. Now it got it. And it has... Okay. See, it still wants us to... But we could probably make this in one go. That's 100. No, we can't. Why does it still want us to start by making that short of a jump? That makes no sense. I'm sure to be able to make... I could have made several jumps in this time. You know what? We're just gonna fly. Oh, hello. What's going on over on Twitch? Hello, guys. Jack Little is is raiding. Hello and welcome, guys. Thanks a lot for the follow on Twitch. Okay. It's still 8 jumps, so you know what? We're just gonna
Fuel scoop disengaged.
make sure we have this plotted with the right settings. There we go. Okay.
Frameshift drive charging.
8 jumps. Okay, here we go. What are we doing in Elite Dangerous today? We are, well, I was updating my my combat corvettes to a better and stronger, hopefully stronger shield. We're gonna figure that out. Not today then, but in a future stream. Right now we're just heading out towards a new mega ship or generation ship that's been discovered. That hopefully has some interesting information about some upcoming events in the game. And I thought someone said they embedded it in the article.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Releases apology.
Rockford Corporation releases apology. The CEO of Rockford Corporation has expressed regret.
Hold on. Hopefully this counts as voice.
Her company's role in the distribution of blight pathogen, which ravaged crops in hundreds of
Frameshift drive
systems.
charging.
In a statement to the media, Sylvia Rockford insisted that the lack of proper oversight in the manufacture of VX7 fertilizer was an anomaly, inconsistent with the company's traditional commitment to quality. I offer my sincere
4, 3, 2.
I wish you could disable him so he wouldn't be talking over.
apologies to everyone affected by the blight, said Rockford. The premature release of an ultimately damaging product is unacceptable. My company now has a great deal of work ahead to regain the trust of our customers and partners. The foundation of a restitution fund, using profits made from EX7, is the first step towards doing so.
Fuel scooping.
A review of decisions preceding the release of VX7 has resulted in the termination of several Rockford employee contracts. This includes former marketing director Rex Whitlock. Rex's desire for career progression overcame his common sense, and his dismissal of regulatory practices placed billions of
Fuel
good
scoop
people in danger.
disengaged.
In other news, Dr. Genevieve Kane of the Interstellar Association for Agriculture has confirmed that thousands of markets across the galaxy will now stock its specialized agronomic treatment. We have
Frameshift
established the
drive
widespread
charging.
manufacture and distribution of the treatment, ensuring availability in the event of a blight outbreak, said Dr. Kane. Additionally, data provided by IAA vessels indicates that we can accurately determine which areas of
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
galaxy are in need of agronomic treatment. One anomaly involved an unexpected call for supplies from the Upanicus system, which will need to be investigated. But otherwise we are satisfied with our detection methods.
Nah. There wasn't really anything about the ship in there. Just listen to one of the other ones, see if there's anything there.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
People said that they cannot subscribe on on Twitch. That is correct, because I am not part of the Twitch partner program.
Charging.
Because if I was part of the Twitch partner program, I would not be allowed to stream on YouTube at the same time. Or affiliate programs, to say. So that's why I'm not part of the affiliate program. That's Twitch's decision to make it that anything streamed if you're part of the affiliate program has to be Twitch exclusive for 24 hours. And since the main viewer base is still on YouTube.
Looking forward to the third cucumber build guide.
Thank you, Kirsten. And yeah, this build has been through some iteration through the time.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged.
Alright, let's get some fuel in this star.
Fuel scooping.
Is there anything else going on? The lesson of the bright. Nah, this is pretty old. This is the second. I don't think there's anything in here. Okay, that should be plenty of fuel.
Temperature critical. Fuel scooping complete.
Oh, a little early on that, maybe.
Warning. Taking heat damage.
Just give us a little early on the frameshift drive there. There we go, that's
Frameshift
better.
drive charging.
The hit was the unexpected call for aid.
4, 3,
Ah, okay.
2.
While he's jumping. Oh, copy the menu while. Ugh. Who needs fuel? You can call it fuel rat. Just have a fuel rat carry me all the way up there. No, it was. Okay, I didn't even notice that.
Fuel scooping.
I'm just gonna turn that volume down a little bit again. Audio. That's down there, like so. Oh yeah, it was mentioned at the end. I mean, James Shop said the actual tug operator would be a good at imagine this. If you could have people multi-crew into a ship and they could actually fly it and jump it. And you could then actually pay them credit for it. So you could be like a pilot, like a basically like people ferrying people's ships around if they don't want to pay the transfer fee. If they just want to fly somewhere that doesn't have a station. Like, take me to Secretary SA. Okay. Get someone to fly your ship for you. And what if they crash it? Well, your insurance, I guess. Who discovered? I'm not sure who discovered the generation chip first. It might be metallic. I haven't kept track of it. But we're here now. Okay, people seem to think it was metallic to discover it first. Should probably write that down. Probably gonna mention this in Hello Dave on Monday. Next week. Metallic VR? Okay. Okay, here we are. Well, that's a mega ship. I wonder if that's it. Is there anything else of interest in this system? Starport. There's another mega ship here. Okay, B3 people are saying, let's try to get up there then. What? Okay, let's just quickly read the article again, because I clearly missed it when we were listening into it. Additionally, data provided by IAA vessels indicate that the accurately determined which areas the galaxy are in needs of treatment. One anomaly involved an unexpected call for supplies. Ah. Okay. I will get FSSers to find it, I guess. I have to find my... I don't even think I have a group with an FSS scanner in it at the moment. Oh, there it is. Just disband that group again. I don't need this group. Then maybe one with a collector in it. Let's just make one with a collector and a D-scanner. That should be fine. Oh, it is actually viewable all the way out here. Oh, I don't have a Super Cruise Assist module, so we'll have to do the approach the normal way, I guess. Now would probably be a good time to just remind you that, yes, there might be spoilers coming up, so if you're planning to go out and listen to this yourself, then now you are warned. There will probably be spoilers coming up. So you're going to destroy the ship and kill everybody on board. Yeah, well, why else would I bring the Cube Cup all the way out here? Started using the SCA? What is the SCA? Is that an acronym that I should know of? Ah, super resist. Ha, of course. Of course. Okay, here we go. Oh, come on. There we go. Let's just... Actually, let's just make... No, we can't data link scan it. Oh, we should probably deploy this first. Ha! Okay. Ship's logs. I'm just gonna go in and we're gonna turn up the voice volume again. So you guys can hear it a little bit better when we are listening into this in a second here. And I'm gonna try to be quiet. Oh. A little bit better thrusters on this one than on my Anaconda. Okay, here we go.
This is Captain Jonathan Forrester. The Golconda colony needs your help. I don't know how else to say it. To anybody hearing this, this is what's happening. We have a full colony of people on board this vessel. That's tens of thousands of people. And until recently, we've been entirely self-sufficient. But supplies are starting to run low. More specifically, we're lacking a lot of technical components. Air filters, water recyclers, circuit boards, things like that. And it's getting harder to patch this equipment up every year. There's only so long we can make do with what we have. And the other thing, and this is the real kicker, is that there's a disease going around which is knocking us sideways. Flu-like symptoms, but much more serious. People are dying. We're coping as best as we can, but our medical supplies are running low. And if this turns into a full-blown epidemic, then we're going to be in real big trouble. So I made the decision to reach out to you, whoever you are. Hopefully the tech's moved on enough for our signal to be picked up this far out. But the others really weren't sure if I should be doing this, because people here don't want interference from outsiders. But I don't want to worry them by explaining the reality of our situation. They're good people. I don't want them to be scared. So here I am, recording a call for help. Trust me, I wouldn't be asking if I didn't need to. I feel like I don't really know how to do this. I hope you understand. It's been a while. Captain Jonathan Forrester, signing off.
Okay. So far, pretty straightforward. Low on resources, and they have a flu. Deadly flu. But we still have 4 more logs to go, so... Okay, just get around this ring and not fly through it. That often ends badly. Hold on. Did I target... Where did they go? Oh, it's up there. Oh, God. Is your route planner easily available to download? Yeah, it's on my GitHub. You can just clone it off that. You go and find Down To Earth Astronomy on GitHub, then it's in there. I can give you a link when we're done scanning all these things here. You know what? We're just going to scan all of them and then listen into them afterwards in order. Sorry, I know your ship is already damaged, but that's just a small scratch. Thank you, Donkalora. Donkalora just posted a link for you. Sounds weird. Yeah, that sound was really eerie. Thanks for the follow on Twitch. Okay, we're just gonna get away from that noise. Should we just be looking at it while we're listening into this? That only seems fair. Okay. We should have all of them.
This is Dr. Shay Tandis. Captain Forrester has asked me to summarize the situation on board the Golconda, particularly in regards to a recent outbreak of disease. I must preface this by saying that any attempt to summarize the situation feels inadequate. There is so much to say about the symptoms, the development of our detection methods, and existing treatment philosophies. Nevertheless, I will attempt to speak concisely for the purpose of this broadcast. The disease, known colloquially among the people as the wasting kiss, is a mutated strain of viral nasopharyngitis. One of the drawbacks of living in an atmospherically self-contained structure for hundreds of years is that illness tends to linger. We can't very well sterilize a ship of this size, and with each generation these illnesses adapt to remain virulent. This one particularly so. Antiviral treatments aren't particularly effective, merely delaying the disease's progress. We have confirmed 6 deaths in the past month attributable to the disease. Our medical supplies are somewhat limited, adequate for maintaining health and the occasional serious illness or accident. In the event of a full outbreak, with hundreds of patients requiring treatment, we may be forced to resort to measures such as full quarantine and isolation. When the captain first suggested opening communication with outsiders, I must confess to a certain hesitation. On reflection, it would seem the logical decision for the well-being of the crew. One can only imagine what pharmaceutical advancements have been made over the last millennia. The possibilities are fascinating.
That's quite amazing, if these guys are still... But okay, technically we still don't know yet when these were recorded. We just know that they have at least been in space for a very long time. I don't know when lore-wise all these generation ships were sent out. Okay, let's listen to the next one.
Rick Blanchard, Security Chief of the Golconda. First things first. The safety and protection of the people aboard this ship is my primary objective. During my tenure, we've reduced the rate of crime aboard this vessel by 32%. Violent crime is rare, and there hasn't been a murder in over 6 years. My team are well trained and do the ship proud in how they address the very specific demands of the Golconda. You might think an isolated, spacefaring colony of thousands with no horizons, seasons, or other planetary benefits would have gone mad and initiated some kind of mass tragedy. Well, not on my watch. Which is why I need to be clear in my opposition to the captain's decision to send out a distress call. Humanity doesn't enjoy a stellar record of respecting the rights and well-being of indigenous communities. Hell, we don't know what humanity is anymore past the confines of this 1,000-year hull. The risks outweigh the advantages. I'll follow the captain's order, because he's not let us down yet. Got a good mind, that one. But I'm asking whoever hears this message to understand that we're looking for a trade of goods and resources only. Communication with the general populace of the Golconda is forbidden. Messages regarding developments outside of the Golconda is forbidden. Direct contact between outsiders and Golconda colonists during an exchange of cargo is forbidden. We've always dealt with hard times ourselves. If it were my call, we'd deal with this by ourselves too.
Okay, so that was some kind of security officer who apparently wasn't too keen on this whole trade deal.
This is Aaron Gray of the Golconda. It's my responsibility as custodian to manage the needs of our people and ensure that everyone is fairly represented. I'm recording this message to satisfy the curiosity of anyone who may respond to our distress signal, I suppose. Truth be told, I'm not sure what to say. We're more than just a colony, you see. We're a family. Whenever a challenge is put in front of us, we resolve it together. When success is achieved, we celebrate collectively. We have... It's hard to put into words. Our ancestors chose to remain on this vessel centuries ago and leave our original destination behind. They did so because they had grown to love what they had achieved. Logs from that period show their anxiety at the prospect of leaving the Golconda. The generation ships were designed to keep colonists healthy, happy, and entertained, and somewhere in our journey, we came to feel loved, too. And yet, all things must come to an end. Sickness is rife and supplies are low. After so long fending for ourselves, the time has come to seek assistance from a civilization we no longer know. The captain believes that humanity has a heart and will come to our aid. If you're listening to this message, we're probably going to find out if he's right soon enough.
Not a whole lot new in that one, I must admit. Let's see the last one.
Thomas Cobb, chaplain. I serve the Golconda, and the Golconda embraces me. Long ago, I would have been called a priest. Somebody authorized to provide guidance according to the rules of a religion. That's the role my predecessors fulfilled, at least. Eventually, the old texts were set aside in favor of a less rigid spiritual philosophy. Being able to view the entire nebula over breakfast inclines one towards the contemplative. There are few things more reformative than a sense of complete insignificance. Now, my role is to show my brothers and sisters that we are all important. Each of us has a role to play. We cannot concern ourselves with the scale of the stage. All we can do is deliver the best performance we can. Each person aboard the Golconda can trace their heritage from the first inhabitants to the current day. In the present, we contemplate the spirit and the soul, allowing the voices of the past to inform our future. Our respect for them, combined with our belief in each other, creates a community of hope. And here we are, over 1,000 years later, about to reach out a hand and hope that humanity accepts it. What lies in store for us, I wonder? What lessons have been learned from history? While I am nervous at the thought of outside assistance, I must admit, the question intrigues me. What did we become?
Yeah, I think you guys are right over on Twitch that it seems like the messages are fairly recent. Interesting though that there's no way it seems to like there's no place for us to drop off cargo. Obviously, there's no like we can't request docking or anything. This could potentially play a role in. I mean, we've found generation ships before. This is not the first, but I think this is the first one where people are actually still alive inside. Should we go and wave to them and say hi? Knock knock, anyone home? Doesn't seem like it. This could potentially play a new role, I think. Yeah, half expected to see a bunch of corpses in there. But imagine if they just animated like small figures walking around, like maintaining the crops. Are there any others? There's one over here as well. That's probably the same. Which we can't see because it's in the way. How can crops grow if there's no one alive? I think crops can grow just fine if there's no one alive. As long as the ship has power and there's oxygen and it receives daylight, sunlight, then it should be okay. But yeah, exactly. Keep it neat and tidy like that wouldn't happen without humans, I think. Doesn't look automated. They don't have space legs either. Brian asked why this called the Cucumber Shield update. Because we were starting to upgrade the shield in the Cucumber and then we decided to go out and look at this instead. But I think, what time is it? I'm gonna head back towards my original route here again and see if I can't get a little bit more engineering done before I have to log off for the day. Oh, this is far. 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, we're still mass locked. What are we doing here? 9 jumps. Wonderful.
Cannot comply.
Oh, turn down that volume again. Oh, have that deployed. That's why. Hello, Lave Radio. Oh yeah. I have to wait for the frame to drive to come back online. There we go. Now it's online. Yeah, I'll scoop on the next star. It should be okay. wouldn't it be a big ad for just a community goal? I don't think so. I mean, making these generation ships, I mean, I don't think it's, I mean, all the domes and all this, it's all like stuff like they have used on other ships and stations before, so it's not like, I don't think there would be a huge amount of design in generating a ship like that, and then they would have to just write the autolog, get something in. Sure, it is, I mean, there is definitely work in it. They have to get a voice actor in, they have to get 5 voice actors in actually to do all the voice logs. To record that, so there's definitely some work in it, but I don't think it's more than what they would do for a like, that's not more than what the work that is in designing a new Interstellar Initiative, for instance. That has to be written like different phases and different outcomes based on what happens with player interactions, that kind of stuff. So stuff like this is not it's not unreasonable to put in. Okay, so like generation in its high legacy just for, well, there's so many like voice logs scattered across the game that this is something, unfortunately, to be honest, if nothing happens to this ship in terms of a community goal or an interstellar initiative, that thing will just be forgotten. Because there's nothing you can do there. People will think, okay, there's a ship full of humans, but we can't do anything with it. We can't interact with them. We can't trade with them. We can't help them for the request they send out. But it would be a natural thing to use for a community goal. Hey, hello Metallic. We've just been out looking at the mega ship, the populated one that I was told you managed to find. Interesting little thing. And now we're heading back towards the bubble to continue our engineering. Oh, always 6 jumps out. We have Acid over on YouTube said, been watching your videos for a while, finally nice to catch you live. Keep it up. Thank you, man. I don't know, I hope they will make something around it. I mean, there's so many good stories you could write. I mean, imagine this, you've had a branch of humans that's been completely detached from, like, the rest of society for 1,000 years or something like that, and then all of a sudden they reconnect with society. Not quite 1,000 years, but close, right? Imagine that. Imagine the amount of, like, you could write some really good stories with that. Did Metallic come to any conclusions as why here? Well, I think he's in chat right now, so maybe he can answer if he's actually here still. But it's also very likely, I mean, it would be a fairly, I guess those ships would contain a fairly small population compared to, thanks for all the follows on Twitch, by the way. Yeah, we've just been out, we listened to all the audio logs, so they're basically asking for help, they're asking for like, supplies, not just food, but also everything else. Because they've been infected by some kind of disease. But yeah, we've been discussing the same thing if it would be the next Interstellar Initiative. It would make sense. I mean, imagine if they suddenly, I mean, they have decided to now open up to actually ask for materials. So imagine if we in a couple of weeks suddenly begin to communicate with them. Not only would we most likely have evolved some technology they don't have access to, But even though they are a small community, there's still a chance that they could have developed something that we couldn't. Or if nothing else, it's from a medical point of view, it would be very interesting to see how like two completely separate branches of human have developed over such a long period. Because there's bound to be different like things that happened that made them more suitable for life on board a ship like that. No, you can't actually interact with the ship. So far, it's just go out, listen to the logs, and that's about it. I have actually tried to jettison stuff in space, but that I doubt that would work. But again, I don't believe so far we've seen you actually being able to interact with megaships, like give stuff to a megaship. So I'm afraid a community goal like that, they know where Raxler is. Nah, no. Maybe they all become invisible. Yeah, or they all just computer programs now. No, what I'm afraid of is that actually running a community goal like that would just be delivering materials to the station and system, because so far we haven't seen any way to actually interact with a megaship where you can give it cargo, and it's kind of like leaning towards it's going to be another trade community, which is one argument against it being the next community goal, because we just had an interstellar initiative, an interstellar initiative that was very heavily focused around trade. There was a little bit of combat in there, but even during the combat phase, there was still some trade options that you could do. So we just had like 3 weeks of heavy trade in the last interstellar initiative. So I think that if they're gonna do another trade one, that might be, I don't know, maybe there's a little bit trade heavy. Maybe they're not gonna add some exploration in there. Maybe we can dump off cartography data for them, so they can like begin to get some updated star charts. We've obviously discovered a lot more of the galaxy since they left. There might be a dockable megaship. Ah, yeah, that's a good point actually. There, over on Twitch, it says there might be a dockable megaship that'll jump into the sector to aid them. That could actually happen. They would have a nearby megaship that would just a little bit like the passenger rescue megaships that would appear when a station was under attack by Thargoids. Yeah, okay, they did say, yeah, there was the security officer who said that he didn't want any outside, like, additional tech. They didn't want us to advance their technology. It was pretty much just give us food, give us the supplies we need. Where's the base at? But again, if that ship is 1,000 years old, I mean, try to dust up a computer back from the 60s, like the 80s even, today. That's not an easy task, let alone trying to find a piece of like electronics working on a 1,000-year-old ship. Nobody's gonna make that stuff anymore. That's gonna be completely obsolete. So chances is if we're actually going to be able to give them what they're asking for, we have to find a way to build it first. Give them a new ship. I don't think they want that. They seem to be quite happy. I mean, they abandoned their original target to stay on their current megaship. I'm pretty sure they don't want a new one. But again, if they don't want our cartography data, I don't think they want us to build them a brand new ship. Or they could actually make, oh, that could be interesting. They could actually make a like, imagine you have two factions in the system where they're at right now. One of them saying, we need to help these people and we need to make contact with them and give them the supply they're asking for. And the other side could say, no, we should not make contact with them. They have some kind of disease that our immune systems could potentially not deal with. I mean, they could have, I don't know how quickly stuff like that changes, but they could have developed this virus that they have is already deadly to them. I mean, it could be even more deadly to us than it is to them. So there could be, like, you could have a conflict between two factions in the system where they would begin fighting each other over whether you should contact them or not. And depending on who wins that side of the war, then you could have them either we contact them and give them supplies, and that triggers a community goal or a trade phase in an interstellar initiative, or we don't contact them and, I don't know, they decide to eradicate them, and then suddenly it becomes one of those scenarios around ships where some people are coming in trying to shoot them, and then you can choose either to help shoot down the mega ship and kill it, or you can try to defend it if you still want to try to save the people inside. And so that, I mean, you could do a lot of combat around it, around a mega ship like that, if you really wanted to. Wouldn't they have upgraded their own tech through the millennia? See, that's the point. We have, what, billions and billions of humans in our society, in Elite, right? And they have, let's say, a few thousand. I don't know if they mentioned it in the logs, but let's say a few thousand. There's a good chance that we've been able to develop our technology a lot further than they have in that amount of time. So, yes, they would have developed it, but I'm not sure I don't think they would have been able to keep up with the rest of the world. 10k, someone says. Okay, so 10,000. That is still several orders of magnitude. Whoa, this is heavy. Still several orders of magnitude less than what we have outside in, let's call it, mainlanders. Who was that who called it the mainland? Kyle, I think, called it the mainland community. Tens of thousands. Okay, let's say around let's say around 100,000. It's still a very small amount compared to the, I don't know how many people are in the Elite universe, but there are several systems with multiple billions of people in it. Came in a little hot there, didn't you? Yeah, I always do that, especially when I'm trying to keep up with chat while flying. Then I just crash my ship into stuff. That's an easy way to stop it. Where are we? Li Chung. So we have to do two things here. We need to do sensors and we need to do shields. So for the shields, we're going to engineer our prismatics, and we're going to go with thermal resistant shields. And we're just going to check. Oh, we only have 6 of those, so hopefully that's enough. I should be at only grade 3. Okay, thermal resistant. Is this still the cucumber? Well, it's a version of it, but yeah, this is the cucumber. They must look like humans from Wall-E. When you unlock an item from a power and switch to another power, is it still unlocked? No. You can only use it as long as you are still aligned with that power. So buy plenty while you have access. There we go. And experimental, we're gonna put in a force block. And then we need to do our sensors. What did we end up with in the build? I can't even remember. D-rated sensors with long range. That's right. Maybe put it down on my list here, I think. Yeah, long range. And come on. And no, not yet. There we go. Those would be shields. So now, what do we do now? We find the next system, I guess. Hopefully this is not that far. 119 is not bad. We can actually do that without fuel scooping. Derek, because I have done a revised version of it, one of the comments that was made in the video was that I didn't take stuff like shield banks and Guardian shield reinforcements into consideration. So I've done a new version of the software, and it's built based on that version that I'm building this ship. There will be a video out tomorrow where I'm gonna go over all the changes that I've made and explain some of the new findings that I have. This is just like me beginning to build it a little bit before the video is actually out. Have there been any analytics on NPC pirate loadouts to how much / types of damage they do, so you can find the shield layout that works like 80% of the cases? No, and I haven't found a good way to actually test that. I've been testing the damage efficiency. If you saw my original shield video, like I've measured how much time I got shot at on average when I was in a hazardous high intensity conflict zone. What I'm looking for. So I've tested that, and that I could measure, and I could do that. It took a bit of time, but it was doable. By simply just recording sessions of me flying in a conflict zone, and then sitting up in a video editing software, just begin to chop it up into chops where I'm getting shot at and chop where I'm not getting shot at, and then measuring the total length of those two tracks. Then I can calculate the damage efficiency, but I haven't found a good way to measure the incoming DPS and damage types of NPCs, so that is still yeah, system pips is still not included. I'm still assuming your pip management is the same regardless of shield build, but that is something that I might add in the future. In this second version, it's just shield banks and Guardian shield reinforcement packs. But system pips is maybe something that will be added later on. What do I like to put in those 2x huge bangs? Assuming you mean my hard points. I like to use multi-cannons, overcharged multi-cannons with autoloader. There's not really a whole lot of useful experimental mods on multi-cannons other than corrosive. But since corrosive is a status effect, I always put those on like a small multi-cannon somewhere. Because it doesn't matter if you do the corrosive effect with a small, medium, large, or huge multi-cannon. It's a status effect. So you get the 25% reduction regardless. So I just put it on a small multi-cannon somewhere. And then overcharge the big ones, and then I put autoloader on it. It's quite useful. You only need one of those, yes. That's why if we take a quick look at my small multi-cannons, I have two. Well, if I could fight my way around my own ship. Well, here we go, multi-cannons, the small ones. So, right, one of them is... Come on. Has high capacity magazine and emission munition. Upgrade that causes strikes to envelop the target in energetic particles, significantly amplifying the signature at the cost of increased heat generation for the attacker. So the multi-cannon generates a little bit more heat, but it's a small multi-cannon that doesn't really generate that much heat to start with. And it makes the other ship a little bit easier to target if they go silent. So if they silent run, or if they fire off a heat sink or something, so they run cold, when they have that effect, it makes it a little bit easier to target them. It's really just because there was nothing else. You could have just as well gone with 2 corrosive in case you, I don't know, run out of ammo in one, but then same fire group, that wouldn't really happen. In case one of them get damaged, I guess. I don't know, something like that. Is there another power play module other than prismatic shield that is a must-have? I wouldn't say a must-have. I mean, I like to have the mining lances, but that's just because I like the mining lances. Pack hounds are suggested over on Twitch. They are fun. I've been looking at trying to get my hands on the cryo scramblers, small fixed burst lasers that that does like as much damage as a fully engineered huge beam laser, basically. If you engineer it right. Those things are not fun to be shot at, or to be shot with. Problem is, of course, they have quite a bit of jitter, and they're fixed, so... And they have really short range. They only have a 1 kilometer range, so they're not really that accurate. So you really have to... It's basically like a laser shotgun, right? Another Dane in chat, it seems. Hello and welcome. Still not sure if biweaves are better or not than prismatics. That's very much a... that depends. Oh, I should pay attention to my flying here. I'm just kind of trying to point the ship in the right direction. God, it's late already. Been streaming for 3 hours now. We're just gonna finish this up so we can get those final stats up. Then we'll have to give this a test flight maybe next week, just to see how it performs. If you're getting damage, the shield does not recharge, right? That is correct. When you're taking damage, you can't recharge your shield, and there's a 2-second cooldown from when you stop taking damage before the shield recharge begins. So only if there's more than 2 seconds between you get hit will your shield actually regen.
Core dynamics Delta 2 Echo Heavy. Automated flight control protocol initiated. Please submit a request prior to landing. Docking permission.
If you're in combat all the time, then BioReach is better, but realistically you're not in combat all the time, that's the point. There will always be gaps between fights, and that's when you want to recharge. I mean, if you go to something like a hash rest site, or any rest site for that matter, you will have some fairly large gaps between fight where you can recharge your shield. Conflict zones, not so much. There the damage efficiency is a lot higher. You're being shot at a lot more. So there I think prismatics are better. Okay. Let's start with all of these. And let's switch this out to a force block. That's 1. That's 2. Three and 4. And 5. And oh, come on. Okay, RNGesus was not with me on that one. Force block. Should we just... No, we gotta look at the ship stats when we're done. This... Okay, come on. Oh, one more. No, come on. One more. There we go. Now it's done. Experimental effect. Force block. And the last one. No! No, we are out of conductive components. God damn it. Okay, it's not all bad, because we have this one blueprint. We can put the experimental effect on now while we're here. Because we use those both of these times. Okay. Let's just quickly get over here. We gotta copy that system. Oh, come on. Copy that. And then we're gonna head into Inara. And then we're gonna find nearest to our system. I'm gonna find a material trader. It's manufactured. CD34. That's quite far away. This one. That's the one we got. That's the one we're going for. Ferris says, love your build. I see you using Elite Guides website. Where do I find that? It seems really handy. It's a site I'm currently building, as was also posted. It is still work in progress. I don't know when it will be done. I mean, it is kind of a spare time project. So at some point when I feel like there's enough on there that I can justify beginning to open it up for the public, it hopefully will be something that will keep expanding on and keep adding new stuff to. But I'm hoping that we're gonna see a launch before the change of the year. So this year, hopefully. That is at least the goal right now. I can't promise anything, of course, but I'll do my best to get a finished version out before New Year's. If nothing else, it's a very good project to sit and work on over Christmas. See, I did use ED Engineer, and it seems like an amazingly useful tool. But I just had a problem with after I installed it. The first time I used it, it worked flawlessly. And the second time I opened up the software, it would open up off screen, and no messing around with it, trying to force the window to jump into the main monitor would make it go in there, and there was no way I could get a hold of it and get it back. So I would have to uninstall it, install the program again before I could get it back to the main monitor. So that's why I just stopped using it. But again, that was quite a while ago. There's a good chance they've made improvements to it since then. I don't know.
Scan detected.
Have you ever done any real-life astronomy, or if it's just a name? I did write a master thesis in computational astrophysics, where I wrote a piece of software that's used to reconstruct magnetic fields on the sun above what's called active regions, which is these like dark sunspots that produces solar flares and coronal mass ejections. So I wrote a piece of software that like simulates the magnetic fields of that, and then we could like send it off to some supercomputer that would then time evolve it, and we could begin to see if I could like accurately reconstruct the magnetic field so that the effects that we saw in the computer simulations were similar to what we actually saw in real time. So yeah, and the original idea with the channel was actually it should be a lot more astronomy focused, like real astronomy focused, but obviously it turned into gaming, and that's, I'm trying to pull it back towards more astronomy focused stuff, and there is definitely gonna be more of that coming. I mean, but yeah. Justy Jump says, hey, pretty new to this game, always sees your YouTube videos when trying to look things up. Well, that means I'm doing something, right? I have just passed 800 videos on YouTube by now. Public videos, that is. Yeah. So that's a lot out there. Anyway, let me see. What are we doing here? We're going into contacts. Thanks a lot for all the follows on Twitch, by the way. What did you use for the simulation? So, the reconstructing of the magnetic field, like building the initial setup, how the magnetic field was to begin with, was first written in Python, and then I ported it to a language called IDL, which is kind of a spin-off of Fortran that's designed around astrophysics. So the syntax in IDL is a lot like Fortran, but there's a lot of other helpful stuff, and it's a little bit easier to work with than Fortran. But the main simulation is a big Fortran program that's written in Fortran 95, I believe. So yeah, that was that. So a little bit of Python, a little bit of IDL, and a lot of Fortran. What are we doing here? Material trader. We were looking for something. Something we ran out of. Conductive ceramics. Just gonna bob in like, oh, go to give it like biotechs. There we go, 2 biotechs. And then we go to remote workshop, and we go to shield booster. We go to this one, which we didn't manage to finish. And we're almost there. Why Teespring for a merge vendor? Because YouTube was, or is still planning to natively support Teespring on YouTube. So they're planning, it's not something they've rolled out, they're doing a small test with it right now, but they are planning to do something called a merge shelf, which means underneath your videos, you're going to be able to have like a bar with all your merchandise that people can see. That's going to be like natively embedded on YouTube. So when I was looking for a vendor for merchandise, I figured I might as well go with Teespring now, because if that's going to be a thing that's going to be working with YouTube later, then it seems like the obvious choice. To have it all more seamlessly integrated, rather than having it to be a link in the description that people have to follow and stuff like that. So that's why I went with Teespring. Was the simulation successful? Somewhat, yeah. I can show you some if you're interested. Boom. Let's just quickly look at the ship stats here, and then we can Then we could look at some real astrophysics. Look at the oh, look at those resistances. Derek, if you're looking for a SecretLab chair, I do have an affiliate link that you can use. There's unfortunately no discount or anything on it, but if you buy it with that link, I get a little bit of a kickback, and then you help support the channel without it costing you anything extra if you're planning to buy a chair anyway. There's a link in the description. But yeah, I'm just gonna take a moment to just enjoy those resistances and the shield health. 3,000 hit points is not bad, and over 70% on all. What the hell? Oh god. I'm looking forward to taking this out for a spin and see what this can do when we take this out and begin to get shot at. Yeah, I mean, if people can get, like, if people can go through my armor, then I will have problems. I mean, if people get, like, facing sequence, that's going to be an issue, right? Because they're going to go straight through, if they're going to bleed through the shield, and they're going to hit that minus 37% armor resistance. That's no good. So we might want to do something about that to protect us against... I might actually... Hold up, can we just quickly here... because right now we're using reactive armor, but we might be better off... Where's our armor? Let's just put, like, unengineered reactive on, just to see here. See, we might actually be better off with a mirrored one that gives us a ton of thermal resistance to kind of take care of that. We could also go military grade. That kind of goes 0, but then we lose something there. Reinforced alloy, no. Lightweight, no. So, I mean, we could go and swap it out for mirrored, and then once again go with heavy-duty deep plating on it. Just to give us, like, a little bit of protection. Now, kinetic is through the, like... If they hit this armor, we're basically a mirror now. If they hit this with kinetic, we're done. So we better hope that there no kinetic get through the shield. But if it's facing sequence, lightweighted military has better. Lightweight gives increased resistance. What? What? Okay. Learn something every day. Yeah, might as well go lightweight then, just to get the resistance, and then go... And then go deep plating for the extra hit points. So, okay, there's a good point here in chat. So say 3k shield with 70% resistance or 6k shield with 35. Well, if you're using shield cell banks, you're getting a lot more bang for the buck out of your shield cell banks if you have high resistance and low hit points. Same thing with your Guardian shield reinforcement packs. They give a flat bonus that is not affected by the shield boosters. So these will also be a lot more efficient when you go for a high resistant build. You get a lot more bang for your buck out of your optional internals when you're using high resistance over that. So that is the argument here. I don't know, I might consider actually changing out the armor on this and then go lightweight. That would also give us some of the jump range back. %12% thermal is not bad. That means we can take a little bit. I mean, what is that thermal? That's 1,500. What's our current loadout with heavy duty deep plating? Yeah, okay. So, like, the amount of effective hit points, armor hit points, is pretty much the same, right? We have more hit points here for sure. But I mean, the effective is the same because low resistance. I don't know. I'll play around with that. I'll read Discord messages after the stream. For now, I just want to take another quick look at this because that's some pretty insane resistances. Okay, I promised I will just quickly show some of the like stuff I did for my master thesis. I'll see if I can find it. I should have it stored up somewhere. Wow. Where did I put this? Finish code, Duke B. Papers, pre-start, raw data. Oh, please tell me I didn't keep... Oh yeah. Here's all the raw data. Okay, it's not all of them I can see. That was the sunspot I was trying to simulate. Results, maybe? Did I put it in here? Oh yeah. Here we go. So this is a cross section of where you have the surface of the sun down here. And then you can see how you can see the arcs coming up here, and you can see these kind of structures here. Try to look at keep these in mind where you have this, like you have an arc that then splits into two legs. Now this is of course a cross section, so the real would probably be like a dome. I can try to show you how that looks here. If I just open up my my old thesis here. There's a graph somewhere in here showcasing that. So yeah, see, that's the cross section. Those kind of structures is what we're looking for. And at that point in there, that's where something called, we get a 0 point where the magnetic field is 0. That's where a effect called magnetic reconnection happens. So you can kind of imagine this picture here, where that is that X point we see here. And you get materials being pressed in from both sides and then accelerated out here at very high speeds. And that's what happens during a flare. So you get something emerging up here, pushing on it here and here. And then you have stuff just shooting up there very quickly. But I want to show you some of the vapor screenshots. Oh yeah, but my cosmic ray detection and removal. So there's a cosmic ray there that I've tried to remove in software. Oh yeah, here you can see some of the magnetic fields that I simulated, overlaid with the actual data. These are from 2 different simulations. So you kind of see how it follows the magnetic field underneath quite well. I'll post a link to the last build. So here's a picture of like a sunspot where I overlaid the magnetic field. The background image shown in the normal component, the last magnetic field. No. The potential magnetic field. This is from 2 different versions of the same software, computing slightly different magnetic fields. Here are more. Again, you can see these X structures that we talked about before. Some of the relaxation, pre-relaxation. There's a screenshot from that simulation we just saw. Okay, I don't know where those screenshots are. I'm sure I had some screenshots. Anyway. But no, that was what I did for my master thesis. That was a ton of fun. Stuff. I should have a folder called stuff. This folder's empty. Yeah, that's the other simulation. It's kind of show the same thing. Did you see this cover dealing with flare while fuel scooping? No. Okay, I think that is enough of that for now. I'm going to get this ship a thorough test run. Unless something else comes up, I'll probably take it out on this live stream next week, which is of course going to be same time, same place next week, so 8 o'clock in game time. We're gonna take this out again unless something else comes up. Yeah, but I think that's gonna be it for today. Thanks a lot for watching, and you can do as the shotgun has just done, and follow over on Twitch if you're watching over there. If you're watching here on YouTube, please go down and subscribe. If you're interested in more deep dives into shields, I already have one video out on it, and I have another one coming out tomorrow. And there'll be plenty of more shield stuff coming out on the channel. So if you're interested in doing more efficient builds, then you should definitely stay tuned. Yeah, it's midnight here and I have work tomorrow, so I'll jump off. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. And until next time, I'll see you guys in space.